this is Wednesday's lesson. I'm not sure if I've written the correct date. Yes, I have. Wednesday the 20th. You might notice that I look exactly the same as yesterday. You're not going crazy. It's because I decided to just record them all at once. Okay, so today we're continuing with position and direction. We're looking at rotation, so rotating 2D shapes. So just to recap, the three main things that we'll look at when we're looking at transformations. So the word transformation just means to change something. So we can change it in three ways. We can reflect it by flipping it over, translate it by moving it, or rotate it by turning it. So rotation then. It turns a shape about a fixed point, about or around a fixed point. Three things that you need to know. You need to know the direction that you're going to be turning it in. Clockwise, which is the way the clock ticks, or anti-clockwise, which is the opposite way. This can also be known as counter-clockwise, but that's more of an American term. You also need to know how much you are moving it, so the angle that you are moving it. So you could be asked to move it 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is a quarter of a turn, like that. You could be asked to move it 180 degrees. So remembering that all the way around a circle is 360, so 180 is half a turn. You could be asked to do 3 quarters, 90 add 90 add 90, which would go from the top. So if you think about it like a clock, it goes 3 quarters of the way around, and then finally you could be asked to do a whole complete turn of 360, which is a full turn. You also need to know the centre of rotation. That'll make more sense in a minute. But basically it is the point where you are rotating from or around. Okay? So this is basically what that bit means. The centre of rotation. So there's a few different ways that we can rotate. You can either say rotate it about the origin. That would be or the points of origin. That would be the terminology that is used. So basically that would mean you get a pencil or your finger and you would put that on that point. And if you remember when we've done rotation before, what we've done is we've got the paper, and we've put tracing paper on top of it, and then we've drawn the shape as it is, and then you would put your pencil on that dot and then turn the paper. Because if your rotation, centre of rotation is in a different place, it will change the outcome. Okay, so if the point of origin is where they've asked you to do it, then basically it is right on the middle of that cross, where the X and Y axis meet. You can also be asked, oh no, we'll come back to that in a minute. So for these ones then, that we are going to rotate them about the origin. So imagine now that you've got a piece of paper, tracing paper, and you've been able to put it over the top of it. You've drawn that shape, and then you get your pencil, and you hold your pencil right on the middle of that cross, and turn the tracing paper however much it says on there. So on that one it says a quarter of a turn clockwise about the origin. So that's about the origin. Put your tracing paper on, draw the shape, and you will turn it there. Okay? Same here. Rotate it a quarter of a turn clockwise about the origin. So again, clockwise is that way. Put your tracing paper on top. Because it said about the origin, you're going to hold your pencil here, and then you're going to turn it. And you'll notice that because it's perfectly into the corner of the square there, your new shape also needs to be. And that one is perfectly in the corner of 2 squares, so they both need to be. It needs to be exact. Okay? This one, rotate it 180 about the origin. that would go all the way around to there. Quick question, why don't we need the word clockwise or anti-clockwise when we're doing a half turn? On the other two, when it was 90 degrees, I needed clockwise or anti-clockwise. Why did I not need it? The reason I don't need it is because no matter which way I go, even if on the example there it went anti-clockwise, but even if I'd have gone clockwise, it would have ended up in the exact same place because it is exactly halfway. Okay, so when you're doing 180 degrees or half turn, it doesn't matter which direction you do. The other form of rotation is around a point. So for example, if you look here, I've got a dot there. So instead of having it here, about the origin, I've got it there. Oops. So here's some examples. So on here, we've not got a grid, we've not got a graph paper, we've not got the X and Y axis. It's just asking me to turn it about a point. So basically, you do the exact same thing. You would put your paper on top and draw it on. And then you would turn it around that point. Okay, this bit here, it's just covered up a little bit, but you can still see it. It says rotate this shape anti-clockwise 180 about the point G. So again, put your paper over it, draw the shape, hold your pencil on point G, and turn it around the point. Okay? Now, you've not got paper, tracing paper, you've probably not got the squared paper, I know a couple of you might have, so you need to use your imaginations here a little bit. So I'm going to give you some multi-choice questions. So it says rotate the shape 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So you're doing it about this shape, about this point. So where do you think the shape would be now? And a good tip is, like when we did reflection, however far away from the axis it is, that's how far away from the new axis it will be. Okay? So do you think it's A, B, C, or D? So I'm going to be moving it 90 degrees clockwise. So write your answer, and then we'll have a look. Okay, the clue there, like I said, it was going to be the same amount of distance from each of the axes. So we know it's going to be in that middle square, because if you look, there's 9 squares and it's right in the centre square. Because we're moving it about the origin, it's going to stay in that centre square. So we know it can't be D, so it's going to be A, B or C. And we're going clockwise. So it would end up there. The correct answer is B. Shane thought the answer was C. Why do you think he got that answer? So just write a little explanation saying what mistake you think Shane did. So what Shane did was he put his tracing paper on and he rotated it anti-clockwise instead of clockwise. If it had ended up as A as the answer, somebody had written A, that means they would have turned it 180 degrees. So the correct answer was B. Okay, for this one, rotate the arrow 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin. Where will the shape be now? So remembering what I said about where this is in relation to the axis. So we know it's touching the axis. So think about which ones it can't be and which ones it could be. Okay, they're all actually touching an axis, aren't they? But which side of it is touching it? And you're going to go 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So is it A, B, C or D? Write your answer. And if you look there, one of the big clues as well is, if you're only going 90 degrees, if you think each quadrant is a 90 degree right angle, isn't it? So if you're only moving 90 degrees, you know you're moving one quadrant. If you're moving 180 degrees, you're going to go 1, 2 quadrants. 270 degrees is 3 quarters, you're going to go 1, 2, 3. And if you were doing 360, it would be all 3 quadrants. So that's a really good tip to help you. So 90 degrees, you know you're only moving one quadrant, 180 is 2 quadrants, 270 is 3 quadrants, and 360 is all 4 quadrants. So it's back to its starting place. So the correct answer is A. Lily thought the answer was D. What did Lily do? Lily turned it 180. She went 2 quadrants instead of just 1. Okay, have a go at this one. Again, I've not written the direction on there because you don't need it because it's 180, so that should give you a clue as to which quadrants it will end up in. So straight away there's 2 of them that you can eliminate. And the answer is D. Ali got the right answer, but she thought that the arrow should be pointing upwards. Why is this not right? So write a little explanation as to why she's not right. Think of that first slide that explains the difference between translation, reflection and rotation. Because when you rotate, you must turn the shape, so it will face down. You are turning it. So if you think the arrow was pointing up, and then she moved it 90 degrees, it would have been pointing sideways, and then another 90 degrees means it would be pointing down. I can't do that with my hand. So it goes from there to there to there. Okay? Okay, which shape shows the red shape rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin? Write your answer. Have a look. And the answer is D. Which shape shows the red shape rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin? Think about how many quadrants it's going to move. Think about how far it is here. So what are the coordinates? It's 1, 1 this corner. So what will the new coordinates be? Okay, so you can see there that it's the exact same distance and it's gone 1 quadrant around. Which shape shows the red shape rotated 180? So again, look at how far away it is. So which one is it going to be? And how many quadrants do we move for 180? So yes, that one was D. And then just to finish off, we did those ones around a point, and I did tell you right at the very start that you can rotate in different ways. So we've done rotating about the origin and we've done rotating about the point. You can also just rotate a shape. So for example, if I've got my pencil pointing upwards, I can rotate my pencil. So I can rotate my pencil 90 degrees that way. I'm not going to say which direction it is because it's different to you probably. I can also rotate my pencil 180 degrees. And it's not about a point, I am just rotating the object or the shape. So, if you look here, if we rotate the arrow 90 degrees clockwise, it would go from being that way to facing down. If we were to do it 90 degrees anti-clockwise, it would turn from that way to facing up. So let's just use my pencil again. Oops, it's the opposite way around on here. So it was that way. If I was to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, so for you, that is that way, it would go down, and then it was like that. So if I was to rotate it 90 degrees anti-clockwise, it would point up, so it's just a quarter of a turn. You can see that there, look, what, from there to there, it's just moved a quarter. And then 180, it would be facing the opposite direction. So what will this shape look like after a 90 degree turn anti-clockwise? A, B, C or D? And your answer is A. And one, oops, nearly finished. Which way will the arrow be facing after a 180 degree turn? So 180 is half a turn, so it will be facing that way. And your last question is, which of the 6 holes will this grey shape fit into? So if you were able to pick that grey shape up and turn it around, rotate it in different ways, which shape at the bottom would it fit into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6? And the answer is 3. If you rotated it 90 degrees anti-clockwise, it would fit perfectly into that number 3 shape. Okay, so that's us done for today. So tomorrow we're going to do a recap of all 3, and then on Friday we're going to do a quick quiz to try and make it a bit more fun. Okay, so I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye bye, enjoy the rest of your day.